Student, today onwards we'll start talking about the animal physiology. Now, see, animal physiology is something very interesting in which we all are going to learn the various processes. Today, we are just going to talk about respiration. That's why you all can see respiration on my screen. Okay, but we will learn the other processes like circulation and all in detail. Now, see, student, when we talk about animal physiology, it is related to us. We also respire, we also have the blood circulation, so these things become very very interesting to learn. So that's why I want 100% attendance for each and every lecture. You should attend the lecture carefully. Now, although the processes are very interesting, very relating to us, but still it is very important to attend lectures carefully and sit attend the lecture with the notebook and pen, because there will be many important processes which you need to note down. There will be many new terms I'm going to explain you, so you have to I'm sorry, you have to note down everything. Okay, to remember, because many MCQs will come from this unit. So this is really very important to remember each and everything, and for that you require pen and paper. Note down everything in your zoology notebook. All right, so let us begin. Today we will be talking about the respiration. When I ask what is respiration, only one thing comes. Yes, breathing is the respiration. So do you think breathing and respiration, both the things are same? Yes, are they same? Yes or no? Just answer me yes or no. Breathing and respiration are same. Here I wrote is, it should be are the same? Student,
Respiration is the exchange of gases
I
and
just want answer in yes or no. Is it same or no? Yes, it is not same. Answer is no. It is absolutely not same. Now you tell me your answer. Come on.
respiration is the exchange of gases, and it is both intracellular, like on cellular level, as well as inhaling and exhaling, like we do.
Yes, so we can say respiration is the big process and breathing is subset. So if I will make it into the pie chart, so it should look like this, right? If I will take shapes, okay. So if this circle is breathing, so respiration will be the small part of it. Now I let me change the color. Okay. So you can say this blue is your breathing and this entire big circle is your respiration. It is something like that. Okay. Now, if you will see, breathing is the small subset of a big process. If I will talk about the process level. So when we talk about breathing, it is just inhaling and exhaling the gas. Okay. Or you can say it is the subset, or it is a smaller process of the respiration. But when we talk about respiration, so respiration is something which includes the breathing, transport of gases, as well as the oxidation of food, which leading to liberate the carbon dioxide, or you can say elimination of the carbon dioxide, which is toxic for our body, as well as releasing of the energy. So in short, respiration is the biochemical process in which cell of an organism obtain energy by combining oxygen and glucose oxygen and resulting the release of carbon dioxide, water and energy. Here we are the zoology SY level students, so we know energy in body is always released in the form of ATP. Okay, so we need to remember the definition of the respiration. I repeat this definition again. Note it down. Respiration is the biochemical process in which the cells of an organism obtain energy by combining oxygen and glucose, resulting in the release of carbon dioxide. It is the metabolic waste which is not required for our body, water, and the ATP. Understood the definition? Now it is easy to remember. Do not need to memorize it. It is simple for you. Respiration is a biochemical process in which the cell of an organism is important. It is cellular level, it is happening. Cell of an organism, they obtain energy by combining oxygen and glucose. Now from where you are getting glucose? You are getting glucose from the food which you eat. Okay, you are not getting energy, although the glucose part is you are getting from the food, but you require oxygen to metabolize that food, to oxidize that food. So resulting process in which the cell of an organism obtains energy by combining oxygen and glucose, and release of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the metabolic waste we do not require, that's why we breathe it out. Water and the ATP. Is that clear? Any doubt till here? Shall we go ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when we talk about the process of respiration, as I told you, that this breathing is the smaller subset or smaller process. So, likewise, respiration has many processes, children. Especially, it has the three process. The first and the most important process is the external respiration. Is your simply breathing, you can say. All right, then you have the internal respiration where you take the oxygen inside your lungs. From the lungs the oxygen will be going to the blood. From the blood the oxygen will go to the cells. And the another subset of the internal respiration is the cellular respiration. That means from whatever oxygen is been given to your blood, okay, from the blood will it will reach to each and every cell, so every part. Now see, blood circulates. So here you can understand this respiration process is connected with the circulation. All this process are very important to understand, because all these processes are interlinked. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं for exam level I will just prepare for the respiration, I will skip the circulation. Okay, you have to understand all the processes, because all these processes are interlinked. So what is going to be happen? Whatever blood is oxygenated, this oxygenated blood, now see, there is only one transport vehicle, right, in our body, that is the blood. So the blood is connected with the each cell. So to cell delivery का काम कौन करेगा? It is going to be delivered by your blood. So now suppose cellular respiration में your the cell as a whole machinery of family, you can say, okay, a small house. Now here it is going to take the package, or you can say the parcel of the oxygen, and now here the cell has also received the glucose from the food. Now it will do its own mechanism. So how this processes occur, we'll see one by one in detail. First is the external respiration. As I told you, it is the interchangeable word with the breathing. It is a very simple process. Here you are just taking the breathe in. Now what you are taking inside? Oxygen, and you are releasing the carbon dioxide. So now oxygen we take from the fresh air, and after that whatever, now see, this exchange of gases happen in case of human with the nasal area, but different organism may have the different gaseous exchange processes. Understood? It is not necessary that every organism will have the same way of the external respiration, but for ease of understanding I have taken the example nasal area. Okay, so gaseous exchange at the nasal area, that is breathing oxygen and exhaling. So the taking gas inside is known as the inhalation, okay, or inspiration, and exhaling out is the carbon dioxide. So that is known as the exhalation. So this inhalation and exhalation, inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide is called as the external respiration. Understood? Now, second level. Now, see, these are the stepwise process. First, you have taken the oxygen inside. Now, from the your nasal cavity, this oxygen will enter to the respiratory organ. Now, I will not say here the lungs because the respiratory organ varies from the species to species. We are zoologists, so we study the anything or any type of mechanism in the various species. Okay, so here we will say respiratory organ. For ease of understanding, I have taken lungs here. Okay, it may be the gills, it may be anything else or any other respiratory surface. So you have taken the oxygen inside your body, it will passes over to the respiratory surface. It could be your gills, it could be your lungs or anything. Now from the lungs, this respiratory gas, or you can say the oxygen, will be taken inside to the blood. Understood? Now blood is already having the waste metabolic gas, that is the carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide will be returned back to the lungs. ये ले लो बाहर. This is the metabolic waste, this is not required, it should be excreted outside. Now this blood will go cell to cell and will give to the this cells the oxygen and will take off the waste metabolic. Okay, so यहाँ पर दो चीज होंगी, एक तो पार्सल पहुंचाना है as well as the waste material लेना है. Okay, so this way the gaseous exchange between the lungs, blood and the body cell is known as the internal respiration. The next respiration level is, or you can say the more complex level is the cellular respiration. It is also known as the tissue respiration. Okay, now at this particular level, now cell, as I told you, I had given you example as a home or a discrete boundary. It will take the oxygen, it will receive the oxygen from the surrounding circulating blood, and whatever food particle it has already derived, so it is going to break down that food molecules. Now this cellular respiration will release the energy currency, that is ATP. So we have learned the process of respiration. We have seen the three mechanisms by which respiration occurs: external respiration, in that we just breathe; then internal respiration, where your gaseous exchange occur between lung, blood, and body cells; and the cellular respiration, where the energy is derived by oxidation of food within the cell to liberate the free energy. Now we will learn the types of respiration. Now see children, here the respiration is not necessary will be same in the all organism. As I told you that being zoologists, we learn all the type of animals, right? We are not the medical student that will focus only and only human. We have to study in a broad way, we have to learn all the organisms. So from amoeba, if you will observe where the amoeba is going to feed its lung, it is a single cellular organism, right? So here it will have the way, different way. He cannot keep the lungs in it is small cellular ones, unicellular body. It cannot have the gills, it cannot have so many things inside it. So depends on organism to organism, the respiration varies. So on the basis of exchange of oxygen, the respiration is of two type. One is the direct respiration. It is going to be the direct exchange of the whatever gaseous exchange is happening between the environment and the body cell. Now here no respiratory aid or no respiratory organ or no blood will be involved for the purpose of respiration. Now simple organism like your amoeba, your hydra, flatworm will show such type of gaseous exchange by the simple process. Now how the respiration is going to be occur here? Here the respiration will be very simple. The gas will diffuse across the general body surface. Now another type is the indirect respiration. It involves the special respiratory surface or organs like yours. It may be like skin, buccopharyngeal linings, it could be the gills, it could be the lungs, and the most important thing, it involves the blood. So the animal must have the blood for having the indirect respiration. Uh, so that only whatever gas is been entered inside the body or taken by your respiratory organ will uh, go or will spread inside the entire body. So respiratory organ may be different into the different animal, and see with the evolution you will see that the organisms are becoming more and more complex, right? And they have the higher metabolic rate. If you will see the simple amoeba to human, lots of evolution is there. So same way you will find the evolution of the respiratory organ is also occurring. So we all are going to learn, or we will study all this evolution into the comparative study when we all are going to learn the respiration in the various organisms. So you will find that the smaller organism, they can fit the smaller machinery, so they will be having the simple way, and they don't have so much of high metabolic rate. Their metabolic rate is also lower, so a little bit oxygen is been required. So a simple process will be there of the respiration, and simple machinery, or you can say the simple respiratory aids will be fitted in their body. Higher organism, they have the higher metabolic rate and higher needs, higher food oxidation is required, lots of oxygen is required, so their respiratory organs will be more and more complex. So the uh, whatever respiratory surface are there, it should have most important function, that it must be the impermeable for the exchange of gas, and the developed animal, they should have the specialized structure for the gaseous exchange. The transport of gases from the respiratory organ to the body cell should be brought by the blood as well as the cell. So we can say that the respiration can, two type of respiration can be discriminate as the direct respiration will have the exchange of oxygen, or you can say air, with carbon dioxide of the body cell with the simple diffusion. In the indirect respiration, special respiratory organ will be there, no direct respiration is possible. So here respiratory organ could be the skin, buccopharyngeal lining, it could be the gills, it could be the lungs. Now here respiratory organ is not required, blood is not required. Aerobic bacteria, plants, sponges, they will be having such type of respiration. They will not have any involvement of any respiratory surface as well as blood. This point is important to remember. Now, in case of the indirect respiration, we need to remember they required respiratory surfaces as well as they required the blood. Now, next thing, we will discuss in detail about the respiratory surface. As I told you, this respiratory surface is very important, and these are helping to take the oxygen from the nasal cavity, or you can say the opening to the blood, right? So that it can reach to the each and every cell of the body. So for that reason, it should have some characteristic. Now see, this is the good. Example of the indirect respiration, nasal cavity. From I have taken again example of the human only, that we are breathing in, here the nasal cavity is involved, and from that the lungs are involved. Inside the lungs we have the alveoli, and from the alveoli this gas is exchanged. Now see, this is the broader view of the alveoli. Inside the alveoli lots many blood capillaries are there, and these blood capillaries are doing or acting as the gaseous exchange surface. Here whatever air is taken inside is fresh air, and you can say the oxygenation is given to the blood cells, and whatever air is taken out, it is having the carbon dioxide. So this way the blood get oxygenated, and the deoxygenated blood is diffusing the carbon dioxide outside to the body. So, and let us discuss about the respiratory surface. As I told you, this respiratory surface varies from the organism to organism. It could be the skin, it could be the buccopharyngeal lining, it could be the gills, it could be the lungs. Lungs are also of various form. You have never imagined how many types of lungs are there, that we all are going to learn in this unit. Now see what could be the uh, characteristic or respiratory surface must have for the efficient respiration. The first and the most important thing, that it must be thin. Any guess why it should be thin? Now, if it is thin, then only diffusion can be very easy, right? So, if it is thin, it would be permeable to the gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? Because these are the respiratory aids which are going to take the gases, or gaseous exchange will occur here. This will be the main respiratory part, or you can say the target main respiratory organ. Whenever we talk about the respiration or breathing, immediately the lungs come in our mind. Why? Because these are the most and most important organs in the body. So for that particular reason, main gaseous exchange is occurring here. So it must be permeable for the respiratory gases, that is the oxygen and the carbon dioxide. Now see, if it is very much dry, this thing is not possible. So this respiratory surface must be very moist, so that the gaseous exchange will occur with the very good efficiency. So then another most important thing you all can see here, that it is having many chamber, it is having more and more uh, vessels. So it should be very much vascular, children. If it is vascular, so the respiratory area is going to increase. More and more vascular is going to be this, it is going to be increased more and more surface area. So highly vascular, more and more blood vessels should come here, so that they can exchange, or they can whatever they have brought the waste metabolic waste or the carbon dioxide, they can discard in a very efficient way. And for that reason they should have the larger surface area, and for that particular reason this must be highly vascularized. Now the most important point is the it should be in direct contact with the source of oxygen. So you can see, for that particular reason it is directly connected with the nasal cavity. From here the oxygen is coming, and you can see the lungs are in direct contact with the nasal cavity, right? So for that particular reason it is very important that if important gaseous exchange is occurring, so it should be in the direct contact with the source of oxygen. In the case of the fish also, you will observe that they don't have lungs like us, they have the gills. So these gills are in direct contact with the water, because the fish, they are using the dissolved oxygen. So this is all about the respiration. Next lecture onwards, we all are going to learn the comparative study of the respiratory organ. Now we all are going to learn in, I have just written earthworm and the spider, but we all are going to learn into the respiration into the bony fish. We all are going to learn the respiration into the Anabas, that is climbing perch, then Clarius, frog, human. See, we will also learn into the pigeon. See how we all are going to learn. We all are going to learn in invertebrates. Whatever comparative study we are going to do, even circulation and all, also we all are going to learn in that way only. Locomotion also we all are going to learn in that way only. First we will discuss the lower organism, or you can say the lower invertebrates, and thereafter vertebrates. In the vertebrates, always remember the classification of the vertebrates by the abbreviation param. Param, Param, P for Pisces, A for amphibian, then R for reptiles, A for aves, M for mammals. Okay, in that sequence only, from lower to higher. Now see Pisces, as we know that the evolution started from the water. So Pisces fishes, they are in water, then they come on the earth, that is the terrestrial land, that is the amphibian. So amphibian, they can share the land as well as the water. Then we have the reptiles, totally completely terrestrial. Then the avian lifestyle, the birds, aves, and the mammals. So this is the best way to remember the five classification in a proper hierarchy. It is very important. I always used to forget, so I made this abbreviation param. Always remember with this. Okay, so for this note, for today's lecture, we'll stop now. If anyone have any doubt, can ask me.